The story that we have been talking about here on Lunchtime Live all week, bullying allegations in the HSE and how they've been dealt with. Like we've heard time and time again on this programme over the past 7 days, that it's endemic in nursing, that there's a toxic culture that has to be addressed. And so Sinn Féin's health spokesperson, David Cullinane, raised these issues during the Oireachtas Health Committee this morning.
I'm also really concerned about the welfare of the people who work in the healthcare system. They've been through COVID, they've been through the cyber attack, they're working round the clock, being asked to do huge amounts of overtime. Last year there was over 5,000 assaults or near misses reported. That's the parliamentary question response I got back, which is obviously intolerable. Lunchtime Live in Newstalk did a feature on bullying and harassment within the healthcare services as well. That this committee needs to shine a spotlight on the welfare of those working in our healthcare system, because what they've gone through and what they're still going through is intolerable. And we really need to be looking at workforce planning, yes, but how we protect the health and the safety and the well-being of those who work in our healthcare system, because they're the ones ultimately paying the price as well as patients.
And fair play, he did. He highlighted your concerns, the listeners, the Lunchtime Live listeners' issues during that committee this morning. It's on the record now. It's there, forevermore for anybody to read. And the HSE responded. Take a listen to the interim Chief Executive Officer, Stephen Mulvany.
We accept that staff are under very significant pressure, and no form of bullying of our staff by anyone is condoned by us or any kind of assault. And that is taken very seriously. And we are trying to do everything we can to practically support those staff, many of whom we've met on kind of visits in recent weeks.
Yeah, it's taken very seriously. Well, a lot of the callers to this programme over the last week, they don't think so.
If you go to line management and you're ignored or worse, that's the most awful feeling, that you have nobody there. There's nobody to support you.
When it's reported, it appears not to be taken seriously. I've gone through the process and found it absolutely unsatisfactory. To the point where if other staff members were contemplating taking the grievance procedure, I really would advise them against it, because it absolutely isn't fit for purpose.
I did my best to bring my concerns to them. I don't think they really took it on board. They listened and they said, we're sorry to hear that, but nothing really happened.
And again, this morning I come in, and there were more emails, more personal accounts, experiences, people talking about their stories. I've been getting the same, messages, people sharing their stories with me on Instagram, on Twitter, even on LinkedIn overnight as well. So this hasn't stopped. And Stephen Mulvany from the HSE saying that it is taken very seriously. Well, you will know if you've been listening to our coverage of this on the show for the past week. We have time and time again asked somebody from the HSE to come on and chat to us, just to talk through these issues, to reassure employees and staff that they will be listened to. And they've responded today. They've sent me out a statement, and it says, "We won't be putting a spokesperson forward, and we've nothing further to add to our initial statement," which was, any allegation regarding bullying and harassment is taken seriously by the HSE. The dignity of workers is of the utmost importance, and there are policies in place to reflect the support provided. And disciplinary matters are managed at a local level in the HSE. An investigation affords the complainant and the person about who the complaint is being made fair and due process. Ends previous statement. We won't be putting forward a spokesperson, and we've nothing further to add to that original statement. So as I read that, nothing more to see here. Good luck. Get back to work. Carry on. We've nothing further to add to this discussion. Well, I'm sorry, I just don't think that's good enough. It's not good enough at all. You're the employer, and your staff are crying out to this programme for the past 7 days, detailing and recalling these stories of bullying allegations. They're calling for action. They're demanding cultural change. And I just do not think that a one-line statement today to say we won't be putting anybody forward and we've nothing further to add just doesn't cut it. Doesn't wash with me.